A handful of news updates for you guys this week, the 21st of March 2023. We have a few news stories, a couple of old ones. World Mobile, we're looking at their sidechain. We're also looking at VyFinance launching on testnet, as well as a couple of announcements from NMKR and a few other projects as well. Let's get into it.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no different.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining me back on the Learn Cardano podcast. We'll be going through a bunch of things here and let's get straight into it. I've got a little bit to cover here, not as busy as it has been, but some really good, interesting articles that are coming up at the moment. Now, this first one here, I'll just mention, I did have a boxing challenge that was on for the last 8 or so weeks, and there are a couple of videos of me in my boxing match there. I did take a couple of heavy hits, but it was a very enjoyable fight. I think I still could have done better. You can check out the video of that. I'll post a link down below if you're interested. I won't post it here. But of course, right after the boxing match, I did a 10K obstacle course challenge as well. And that absolutely put me through my paces and I'm still hurting from it. It is extremely painful. Anyway, let's get into the news stories. So this first one here, this is an old one and I completely forgot to mention it, and it's kind of really important because this does leverage off a couple of things that are happening in the Cardano ecosystem with the side chains as well. So IOG are pushing the side chain track at the moment, and they're building their own side chain, Midnight, as well as building all the tools and all the things that developers need to build upon side chains. And this one here is with World Mobile and their Aya side chain, which they're using to develop and build and work with all those World Mobile nodes that are operating out there. And it is all built on the Cosmos SDK. Now, the Cosmos SDK is something new that I didn't learn much about until late last year. And that was through my work with Blueshift. So I work for the Blueshift decentralized exchange. I do all their social media, etc. So I learned about the Cosmos SDK when they were building on top of that. But what World Mobile has done is they've built out their Cosmos SDK so they could leverage off some of the really cool features that they have here. And it's the faster consensus mechanism through Tendermint, the interoperability that happens with the Cosmos SDK because it's already connected to so many other ecosystems. Now you're wondering, how is that all possible? Well, the Cosmos SDK is essentially a blockchain for building blockchains. So it's that underlying infrastructure, underlying code that you can write for a blockchain to write your own blockchain. It's termed as a layer 0. So it sits under Cardano or Bitcoin or Ethereum to allow it to be interoperable and talk to one another and anything else that builds on top of it. And for those that don't know, Cosmos is actually powering a lot in the various different ecosystems. And if we have a look here, this is just a highlight, 272 apps and services. And we go down here, you may not know many of these names. You may have heard of Anchor Protocol. That's a quite popular DeFi protocol. But if we go down a little bit further here, Binance Chain is built on Cosmos SDK, and so is the Binance Smart Chain. It's all built on the Cosmos SDK. And if we scroll down a little bit further, you may see some other familiar names down here as well. A couple I recognize, but there's a lot. There's a lot that's building on the Cosmos SDK. And anyone and any project that is building on top of this can tap into this entire ecosystem. So it's really beneficial to be able to connect to something like this because of that level of interoperability. Now, there's a lot of developer resources around this. It's very well documented and really easy to get started. Now, in going along with all this, I'd just like to mention also that the Blueshift Dex, the team that I work for, have also launched their cross-chain protocol on testnet. So you'll be able to use their cross-chain testnet that is built on the Cosmos SDK to do swaps from one chain to another. And in this case, it's from one of Milkometer's chain, the Cardano C1, to the Algorand A1. So they're two completely separate chains, even though they're all built on Milkometer. And with the Blueshift DEX, you'll be able to do cross-chain swaps across both of them. So if you want to experience what that is like, you can do so at xchaintest.blueshift.fi. There you can see the cross-chain capabilities in play. You will need to use a MetaMask wallet in this case because it is an EVM-based DEX. So it's really interesting what's happening there in that space, and it's really cool that the World Mobile team have decided to build on top of that Cosmos SDK to make that all possible. Now, this one here is another infrastructure level news item, and this is the dynamic peer-to-peer nodes on the Cardano blockchain. So when the relays of the Cardano blockchain connect out to the network, they need to be able to find who to connect to. At the moment, that's done in a very manual way. And if you have a look at this, this is the way to configure a topology within a relay node at the moment. So a relay node such as this one would have mapped out these other relay nodes that it needs to connect to. So this one, according to this diagram, it's connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's really a static way of doing it. So you need to be able to connect to this centralized repository of relay nodes and then get a random number of relays that are actually responding to the network and connect that way. So that way will give you a good mix. Now, that's not very optimized. It's very static. Now, that relay topology is refreshed usually every 24 hours, but may be configured differently. And if any of those nodes that connected to go down, that means you won't have the optimal amount of connections to your relay or from your relay from your block producer to the relay network. In having this peer-to-peer network now enabled, we are able to connect to different relays on the network dynamically and in an optimized way. So this is making the Cardano blockchain even better than it was before. It's now having these relay networks dynamically connect to each other and connect to each other in the fastest possible way out there. So I'm really excited for this update. Now the whole peer-to-peer network has been available. It's been worked on for quite a long time, and some SPOs, state pool operators, have been using it. But now it's officially been released and we can all use it. To configure it for any other state pool operators that are watching this, it's fairly easy. There's a little bit of configuration that you need to set as true. Now, if you want to dive deeper into this, you need to get a little bit of an understanding about how inbound and outbound governors work on the platform, on the relays. But there is a video here that goes a little bit more in depth into it, and you'll learn exactly how it all works and how this brand new tech is really, really cool. Now, if we have a look back here on this very first post, this is a little bit of what it looks like for a stake pool operator in the back end. It doesn't really change much, but you can see here connections P2P enabled. That's essentially it. And you can see all the peers lists that are connecting through the relay at the moment. Now you can see all the peers that are connecting to this and all the bi-directional transactions that are coming through. So you're connecting to a relay, that relay's sending you transactions and vice versa as well. So very, very cool update from the IOG team and very cool update for the Cardano blockchain. Now, I mentioned this news item last week around NMKR and their dashboard. So this is a new feature that they've rolled out in partnership with Genius Yield. And Genius Yield have enabled a staking vault for the NMKR tokens. So now you can stake your tokens there. So you can see what's happening here. You can stake your NMKR tokens on that platform and earn a little bit of APY boost for just holding the tokens and locking them into the smart contract. It's a quick, easy way to give your tokens something to do. If you're not providing it as liquidity on a DEX or something, you can lock them into the smart contract here and simply earn that extra boosted APY just for holding those tokens. Now, you have this extra boost here if you have one of their C-Plane NFTs, the infamous C-Planes, which are part of their recapture that kind of broke some minting. I can't remember what project it was for, but everyone that was using the recapture kept on getting C-Planes. So it's become a bit of a meme, but it's cool. It's cool. It's a cool thing. But you can buy one of their C-Planes and earn an extra boost of that APY. But here, if you lock yourself up for 12 months with the NMKR tokens, you get an extra 10%, and then your boosted APY based on what type of C-Plane you have locked in that staking vault. So I love the mechanism behind this, and I love the fact that they partnered up with Genius Yield to actually provide that too. So it's a nice little additional incentive for anyone that is wanting to stake those tokens. Now, this little bonus here when you stake your NMKR tokens, you also have the ability to get this access NFT. Now, this NFT is to replace software as a service subscription models. And this is exactly what we're doing with the Cardano Press ecosystem as well. So anyone that is using Cardano Press to build a website, you can have that subscription service on a website and then use NFT gating to be able to control your subscription. So we're doing the exact same thing here and making it available for anyone out there that is wanting to build a membership style website using NFTs as your gate. So here, by owning this NFT, you get access to new unreleased NMKR features and tools, with the first coming out in 7 days. I'm looking forward to finding out what that is, and I kind of like this NFT as well. It's pretty unique. So stay tuned for that. If you want to learn more about how to create a gated NFT website, check out all of our resources at cardanopress.io. We have a lot of documentation there, videos to take you through the step of how to build a NFT gated website. Now, this other project here, Kirkstone, I did an interview with these guys a little back. You can check it. There you go, top right-hand corner there. So they're going through the affordability and real estate market with their project. But they have 792 founding NFTs within their mint, and it gives you extra little bonuses through their ISPO as well. So if you're in that ecosystem, if you didn't realize this was happening, please go check that out. You may have one of your NFTs that you need to mint for their platform too. So now, congratulations to the VyFinance team. We've been waiting for this one for a long time. I've had a chat to Stephen about this. I'm pretty excited about a lot of the developments that his and his team have for this public testnet. So they've finally gone live. We've had a little look at this one as well, so we can see all the various pools that are coming through here. And if you have a look at this is quite a unique UX feature in their decks compared to some other ones. And here you can see the trade, the swaps, but then also the adding of liquidity and your liquidity as well for that particular trading pair. So this is one less click. So I'm not jumping around the different parts of the DEX to try and find where my liquidity is or whatever. I can here click on the various trading pairs. So I've got 80 here, and then maybe I go XFI. Then I can add liquidity and look at my liquidity for that particular trading pair straight off the bat. So I don't need to try and crawl around the site looking for the liquidity, etc. So nice little addition there. We will be doing a full video review of their testnet to find out exactly how their platform works. We'll be looking at their bar as well. So there's a little bit of a understanding that you need to have on how the bar works, but I'll be breaking that all down in an upcoming video. So make sure you give me that thumbs up, click subscribe, and click that notification bell, and you'll get notified as soon as that video comes out. Now, this is one NFT project that are also embracing the farming and the staking aspects of NFTs. And this is from the Dankestu, formerly ADA Ninjas, and they have opened up their farming platform as well. So on their farm, you'll be able to get one of your Dankestu's NFTs and then stake it within their platform. So you'll be able to earn some of those Ninja tokens from that particular platform. So if you haven't checked that one out, if you're part of the ecosystem and you haven't checked that out, please do, because it's a pretty cool addition. Now, another ISPO that I should mention, I did an interview with Peter from Landano, and he is also the founder behind Orcfax. This is an oracle within the Cardano ecosystem, and they provide the price data for various assets. So it may be price data for some off-chain asset that they might be using, but in this case, they now have an ISPO to try and raise funds for building this project too. So they've got the prospectus up at the moment. So this is the general overview. If you're interested in ISPOs, if you want to get behind the Orcfax project as well, I'll put a link down below in the show notes so you can find out a little bit more about what they have to offer in terms of their oracle, and also what they have to offer for the ISPO too. Now, the NFT marketplaces have been working really hard lately in building brand new features and delivering more and more to the Cardano ecosystem. So JPEG Store have gone through a whole bunch of new additions. Their whole new studio here, you can actually go through their studio, and this will allow you to actually create NFTs. NFT collection, that is. So if you're building an NFT collection with various traits, various accessories such as hats, bow ties, whatever, you can use that platform to actually build up an NFT collection. So usually you would have to use a script like Hashlips or another one. I've forgotten what it's called, but the ADAOZ team created one, which was really cool and dynamic as well. And you would need to know a little bit of coding. But in this case, you get to use a drag and drop interface to build up your own NFT collection. And this is pretty cool and really, really nifty. I really like what they've put together for creators in general. Now, the team from Saturn NFT also have an online builder for your NFT collection as well. So you can also use their platform to create an NFT, just as you saw with JPEG Store there. I did an interview with Nick from Saturn. You can see it in the top right hand corner there, where you can find out more about how their platform works. And the extra bonus they have here is that you can create dynamic NFTs. These are NFTs that change over time or change based on an interaction with that NFT. So for example, in gaming, you can upgrade your gaming asset and you can upgrade your NFT to reflect that within your gaming experience. So this is the evolution of how NFTs will be, in that they can now evolve over time. So this is a really cool platform. I love what the guys have built here on Saturn NFT. Now, Plutarch is another platform which is kicking goals at the moment. Now, they also, again, have their own single creation and NFT creation, but they also provide links to other platform providers too. And I really like that, because there's lots of popular ones out there at the moment that people use. And creating another one for yourself, yeah, sure, fine. But, there's lots of platforms out there that do an absolutely amazing job for minting NFTs en masse, on scale too. So it's really important to keep those in mind. Peppermint is another one here. They're just waving there to have a little bit of a shout out. We have C NFT Lab, which is also SIP68 enabled, which is that dynamic NFT, and lots more as well. So I'm sure if you keep scrolling down here, you'll see a couple more mention their names. Now, this is probably the latest one that has been released, and this is Flipper. So I did an interview with the guys from Flipper back at CNFTCon last year. So they've spent their time building this one up and getting to the point where it is now. And they've got a lot of really cool features in there, from referral programs to points building and all sorts of really cool mechanisms to try and attract users to their platform. And I'm really interested in digging into this one a lot more. It has everything that you would expect that an NFT platform would have, along with all those extra little bonuses that they're doing. Now, the last NFT platform I'll mention is Dropspot. I did do an interview with the guys from the team there as well, and they launched recently too, but they're a curated marketplace where they're looking and focusing on various collections within the Cardano ecosystem, people that are building or creating some really one-of-one pieces. And I really like some of the artwork that is coming through here. It's quite nice. It's quite good. So if you want to check out some of the more unique pieces, that is definitely a place to look for. Now, speaking of one-on-one artists, this is one artist that I stumbled across a little while back, and this is James Bargo, and I believe he's from Indonesia. I have to double check that, but I do believe he's from Indonesia. But I've been looking at some of his artwork, and it's pretty cool. I really like what he's producing. This is one piece. This is Lyra that I purchased the other day. I haven't told him that I purchased it. If he does watch this, he will find out who purchased it now. But this is one piece that I absolutely love. There's a whole bunch of other ones and other art pieces that he designs and draws. You can see videos of him drawing as well, so he does time lapses, so it's not AI generated or anything like that. He does spend a lot of time drawing this beautiful artwork, and I absolutely love it. Anyway, that is it for me for this video update. If you enjoyed this update, please check out the show notes at learncardano.io. Please give me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click on that notification bell. It's the quickest and easiest thing that you can do to help support the channel. We also have merchandise down at the bottom. If you're watching on YouTube there, we have all the Wapu stuff, Cardano Press Wapus, and also some Learn Cardano merch that has been added in there too. So you have a couple of options now. Anyway, that's it, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.